Hi Scorpio, this is Esjaye Intuitive and welcome to my channel. It's really good that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. This is a brand new channel for me, so it's really exciting. I've not done YouTube before, so this is a bit of a first. I have been reading for a while, so you bear with me while we, cards-wise, we'll be fine. Camera work, maybe a bit dodgy, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better, Scorpio. Okay, I must stop leaning on the table because it makes the camera wobble, I realise. Okay, so Scorpio, we're looking forward to the month of May. I know we're all going through very strange times across the world at the moment. I know that's brought a lot of uncertainty for people, so I kind of thought, you know, when I started the channel, I thought, what are the first readings I want to do? And I sort of spent a while tuning in with spirit, and I just kept getting these feelings of uncertainty. And I think, you know, the feelings of uncertainty are around for a lot of us at the moment, in terms of, you know, what's going to happen in the future, in terms of my work, and, you know, am I playing catch up financially? You know, how's the economy going to fare? All those sorts of questions. So I thought that where we'd start was with a career and money reading. Now, you may find, Scorpio, that some of what I say doesn't resonate with you, you know? And obviously the readings don't resonate with everybody because, you know, if everything happened to every Scorpio at the same time, then it'd be a weird old world. Even weirder than it is already. So yeah, well, basically just take what resonates from the reading and leave the rest. But let's have a look for May 2020. Spirit, can we tune in for May 2020, please, for Scorpio? Please can you tell us what's ahead for Scorpio in terms of money and finance, please? And career for Scorpio, please, Spirit. Okay. I'm going to lay a few of the cards first. That one came out. Getting lots of sword cards here, which is good. It's strong. It's change. So let me just see. I think there's more cards here because very interesting layout here, Scorpio. Gosh. Okay, I'm going to go with these 6 because that kind of feels right. So hopefully you can see them all in camera shot. It kind of feels to me, Scorpio, like you've been wanting to find your way forward for quite a while. Funnily enough, I did a similar reading. I did reading for Gemini yesterday, and the reading started off in a similar way. So as I say, whether this is indicative of our times, I don't know. But here you see the Knight of Swords. You know, coming forward at speed, wanting to make rapid change, fighting his way through any obstacles, but Knights bring in messages. So this is like, you may have heard some news that came to you very suddenly, very quickly, that sort of made you want to sort of make changes, move forward very quickly and be in a stronger position. This is followed by the Page of Swords, which, you know, as you can see, the page here is standing very much feeling in control. He's holding his sword aloft. He's very much feeling in control. But there's been some learning taking place. So whatever message came to you, Scorpio, it looks very much like you've learned something from this experience, or you're in the process of learning new skills, perhaps, to put you in a position where you actually feel, I'm back in control of this situation. So it may have been that whatever this message was that would have come at rapid speed would have made you feel maybe a bit uncertain, and you needed to turn things around in order to move forward. I do feel, however, that it hasn't gone perhaps as quickly as you wanted. You have the Hanged Man here, and whatever changes have come your way or whatever learning has taken place, I get the feeling you're getting a bit impatient. I get the feeling, Scorpio, that you're actually feeling a bit, you know, maybe frustrated that life is in limbo. Now, of course, it's not a surprise that the Hanged Man is coming up in several readings at the moment, because we're all a bit in limbo, aren't we? You know, the world is in limbo, frankly, while we fight this awful virus. So it's understandable that maybe things aren't moving at the pace that you like them to be moving, you know. So you've had some waiting time. You're very eager to put the difficult times behind you. And I do think you've been through some difficulties, Scorpio, because, you know, you've got these 3 swords here. They have been laid to rest. It's maybe caused you a lot of upset, a lot of stress, a lot of worry, you know, a lot of tears. You know, it's maybe something that you've been dwelling on in the past, because here you see the journal, you know, obviously it looks like things have been written down, you know, you're overthinking maybe that, you know, about these issues that have happened. And of course, while you're in sort of the Hanged Man state, that's giving you the time. I think a lot of us at the moment are overthinking. So, you know, again, it sort of fits in with where we are. You know, what Spirit are saying is, you know, take this time, frustrated though you may be, Scorpio, take this time. This is very valuable time for you. This is a time to sort of find that inner peace, to take a bit of time out, spend some time in nature, you know, just sit and just contemplate, rather than feeling suspended and feeling things are out of your control. Just sit and feel, you know, try and relax, maybe you want to try some meditation, they're saying to me, you know, if that's your thing. Some people find it's not their thing, but if it is your thing, you know, or even just a walk in the woods or nature or somewhere where there's green, will help you to feel a lot better at the moment, rather than sort of being in this limbo energy where you're stressing about things. So, you know, in terms of moving forward, what's interesting is we have the King of Swords here. The King of Swords is sort of very much in control of his environment. You can see he's sort of a very powerful king, a very assertive, very taking control, you know, a very strong leader. And, you know, here he is in his castle, in control of his environment. His learning has been done. You see that earlier in this process, the learning that you were doing as a page is now behind him. I know we all continue to learn throughout our lives, but you know, he's in a much stronger position. He feels that he's where he wanted to be. So, you know, in May, you may find that you've had this build up, you've had your times of worry, you've had your uncertainties, your stresses, your worries, but, you know, use this time well, you know, follow the Hermit's advice, use this time well, to sort of calm yourself, because you will reach where you want to be. Okay? So I'm just going to clarify a few of these cards. In fact, let me put them here because I think it's better for the camera. Yeah, as I say, bear with me. This is a very new experience to me with the camera work. So, you know, bear with me. Spirit want me to use this deck. This is an oracle deck, a Colette Baron Reed oracle deck. Pictures are beautiful. I've got some really nice decks at the moment. Sorry, if you keep getting the wobbles, it's because I keep leaning on the table. I'll get better. Okay, whoops. Thank you, Spirit. That's quite a lot. So can we start again? Right, Spirit, we're concentrating, please, on the Knight of Swords. What can you tell us about the Knight of Swords? What can you tell us about the Knight of Swords, please? What can you tell us about the Knight of Swords? Is it that one? Yes. Come to the edge. Yeah. You're at the edge of something at the moment, Scorpio. You know, in terms of your money, in terms of your career, it looks like, you know, you're about to make changes, okay? You know, you've got to decide whether or not you sort of take the leap. As you can see, she's standing on sort of in a quite a precarious position here. That doesn't mean to say your positions are precarious, but it's about, you know, do I forge forward and, you know, learn new skills and, you know, change my work position, or do I not, you know? And as I would say to you, you know, all the readings that I do are very much for guidance. I can just tell you what are in the cards, but you have free will, Scorpio. So if you're quite happy in your career, and you don't want to make any changes, then that's totally your free will. But I suspect because you're watching this, watching this video, that you probably are. Yeah, I mean, they're showing me that you may well have been thinking about this for a long time. You know, this also signifies overthinking, you know, which can sometimes be quite damaging for us. And we did talk about overthinking when we looked at the Three of Swords earlier. But, you know, they're showing me that you were actually thinking for a while about possibly making a change. So if this resonates with you, Scorpio, be assured that regardless of your worries, we are heading towards this King of Swords situation here, which puts you in a much more powerful position. Right, they're throwing up the Loyal Heart card, you know. They say to me that once you actually commit, Scorpio, to your chosen work, that you are a very committed person, that you want to do something that you feel gives value. And this is what fits in with the learning here. And I'm going to put this with the Page of Swords cards because I feel that's where it belongs. You know, this is something that maybe you've wanted to do for a while, but you've been putting off. But the current circumstances in the world maybe have just given you that little push to pursue the things that you wanted to learn, the new skills that you wanted to gain, or maybe it's just given you the time. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. Maybe it's just given you the time to move forward with those skills. Spirit are a step ahead of me here. Yeah, I mean, they're giving you a leg up, basically. It feels like you're gonna be giving some help along the way. So, you know, it's very much the thing that the more effort you sort of put in, the more Spirit in the universe will actually help you to achieve your goals. So you're being given a bit of a leg up. This sort of time that we're going through may have given you the opportunity, as I just said, to make these changes that you want to make. Let's see what's going to happen with the Hangman. What's happening with the Hangman at the moment, Spirit? Yeah, I mean, you know, there's nothing more you can do than just watch and wait, basically. You know, Spirit is saying that, you know, you have the choice while your life feels like it's on hold work-wise at the moment, maybe. You have the choice to either, you know, fight against it, as in sort of possible old Three of Swords energy, or to basically go with Hermit energy. You know, it's your choice, Scorpio, and you know they're advising you to go with Hermit energy, which will make you feel a lot better. So let's see what the Three of Swords. Can we clarify the Three of Swords, please? Spirit, Three of Swords. Not sure that was the one. Three of Swords, please, Spirit. What can you tell us about the Three of Swords? Lively cards. Whoop. Here we go. Yeah, now this is interesting because it may well be that, you know, it may well be that the position that you were in was actually a position, because I'm looking at this sort of heartbreak card. It's come up with a soulmate card, but because this isn't we're focusing on money and career at the moment, Scorpio, rather than a love reading. So, you know, it may well be that the job you were doing was the job you really enjoyed. You know, the job that you liked going to every day, or, you know, your business, you liked running your business every day. And it may well be that you feel a bit heartbroken because that's something that now looks at risk, or you've had to leave behind. Or, as I say, this won't resonate with all of you, but for some of you it may well do. You know, and obviously a soulmate is about something, you know, something very, very special, very connected. So it may well have been a career that you felt very connected to. And you've been put in a position where you've had to make changes, which maybe that has made you feel sort of very sad, very unsettled at the moment. But I do see you learning these new skills that we talked about earlier. And spirits are still advising. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. They're still saying that, you know, how you react to this situation is what's going to carry you forward. So they said acknowledge if you've been upset about a situation, acknowledge the upset for yourself. You know, acknowledge that it was a difficult situation for yourself, and it's something that you have had to work through, and give yourself that bit of time to work through it. Do some healings in terms of spending time, you know, in nature if you're able to, or just going for a walk where you live, etc., etc. And, you know, that will help you move back to a position where you feel your life is more in control. But let's just clarify this. Can you give us more advice for the Hermit, please? Spirit, can you give us more advice for the Hermit, please? Yeah, you see, you are between worlds, I get the feeling at the moment, Scorpio. You know, you do feel a bit sort of suspended between two work scenarios. That's what's you know, coming up, what's coming up in the reading. And that's what I'm feeling. So, you know, in order to cope with that, as I say, the more sort of downtime, the relaxation time, and the more sort of positive you can look at it, then the better it's going to be for your well-being. Spirit, please clarify the King of Swords. Where does the King of Swords feature, please? Where does the King of Swords feature? Where does the King of Swords feature? Yeah, I mean, you're very much poised. You're very much poised. You know, you're in a position where you're about... Sorry, I'm juggling my cards there, sorry. So here we have the King of Swords. This is, you know, we're looking at May. This is where you're heading, okay? You're going to be in a position where you feel a lot more confident, a lot more in control of your environment, a lot happier with where you are, because you have this feeling of strength, you have this feeling of power, you feel back in control of your environment. Now, it may just be that, you know, you've been learning new skills while you've been at home, but it may not be a change of job or anything for you. It may just simply be you've learned new skills, and because the world's been at a standstill, you've had to, you'd be able to go back to your position and hopefully be, you know, take over where you left off, but feel stronger about where you are. You know, it's, as I say, whatever resonates with you, Scorpio, but you know, it's coming. Because you're poised, you're ready to accept that position, you know. And Spirit are saying, you know, this is an unfinished symphony, okay? So you may well reach the King of Swords, you know. But, you know, there's still further you can go, more achievements for you ahead. You know, at the moment you're poised in a position to set into... I can't think of my words at the moment. Words getting scrambled. You're in a position where you're moving towards the King of Swords energy. So this is an unfinished symphony. There's more for you to learn. There's more for you to progress. You know, this all looks really good, because it looks like, despite challenges that have been around, it looks like during May you'll work through these issues and come out of it in a very strong position, Scorpio. So that all looks really, really positive. Let me just check with Spirit. Yes, they want me to take some of these oracle cards from John Holland. I'm just going to take one or two. Otherwise, this will be an extremely long video. I did a Gemini read yesterday that was 47 minutes. I've got to make sure that they're shorter, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This has come out, well, I barely shuffled it. Triumphant success. So, you know, these new skills that you're perhaps learning, Scorpio, you know, this frustration that you've been going through, this waiting time, this focusing on yourself for a little while, you know, this healing time will lead you to a triumphant success. So, you know, whatever if you are worrying about your career, it looks like things are going to pan out for you pretty well, frankly. And you're going to be back in a position of confidence. Let's see if there's anything else. Is there anything else for us, please? Yeah, I mean, Spirit, you know, this again, the Crown Chakra card is coming up a lot at the moment. You know, you are being guided. I believe at the moment we're all being guided. I mean, we're constantly guided, but, you know, particularly at the moment with this situation we're dealing with as a collective, Spirit are very much with you, and they've sent this card out to let you know that, you know, regardless of worries, this will all work out well in the end, because they're with you. Is there a third one? Is there a third one, Spirit, please? Oop. Yeah, I mean, again, they've thrown out the emotional withdrawal card. They're really labouring this point about, you know, as in the Hermit card we saw earlier, about you taking the time to sort of, for yourself, and to reflect, and for things to feel, you know, to feel a bit more peaceful, rather than sort of stressing about this situation. And this seems to be a theme that's coming up a lot in readings at the moment, you know, because the Spirit know that it's tricky for us as humans to go through all the changes we're going through at the moment, because of the limbo situation we're in. It's sort of unprecedented in our lifetime, isn't it? So, yeah, they're saying, you know, don't underestimate the power of taking alone time whenever you can. You know, those peaceful moments, 10, 15 minutes, or even just, as I say, we're being encouraged to walk. Well, here in the UK at the moment we are. I know that's not the same for everybody across the world, but, you know, it's good for your emotional well-being is the message that they're sending to you. So please don't underestimate that, Scorpio. So yeah, I mean, it may be an uncertain time, as I said, for you, but it looks like things, certainly in the month of May, are going to be changing, and you will be back in your power, Scorpio. So I hope that's reassuring for you. I've hoped you've enjoyed the video. Like I've said to you several times, because I'm too excited. It is a new channel. You know, I am practicing working with the camera, etc., etc. If you have any comments you'd like to make, please do so, because obviously, you know, I need to get some feedback on how I'm doing and what I need to change, etc., etc. That would be great. And if you did enjoy it, please, could you give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification button so that you get my next video. I am going to be doing love readings in the next, well, hopefully in the next week or so. I'm just working through the money career readings at the moment, but it's very much guided by Spirit. So, you know, if I get a message from Spirit saying do love reading today, I'll do a love reading today. But at the moment, I'm just trying to find my way, because this is sort of brand new. So if you could support me, that would be really, really helpful, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning in. It's been lovely to have you here. And please subscribe, like, and help me to get established and get started, that would be fantastic. Let me know if there's any other questions or any other readings you would be interested in me doing for you. Okay, thank you, Scorpio. Speak to you soon. Take care.